Today, I think we have a little bit of a fun one, if you would believe that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is John, aka John the Yapper. Today, I wanted to talk about the first Descendants patch notes and what we can hope to see for the future of First Descendant, and maybe talking a little bit as to why. I'm sorry. Give me a second. As for the future of First Descendant, I feel like a lot of people in my comment section have given me a lot of insight in what specifically they would want for the, I guess, the future of First Descendant and what they want in a game. And I feel like I could use this video as an opportunity to not only talk about that, but where we could actually go in depth into my own personal opinion, which most of this is opinionated except for the facts of the patch notes. Now, the patch notes were released July 23rd. I'm sorry I was behind, or is it 24th? I apologize. The updates are officially out now. They've primarily focused on improving storage space and buffing Valby's abilities, just so they can make her easier to use, because next week, I think we are getting a new hero and Ultimate Valby, which hopefully the drop rates are a lot better on those characters than they have been in the entirety of the First Descendant. Now, Nexon has not always been a company that's great with drops, so who knows? We could be dealing with the 3% that we see could in reality be 2%. Sadly, due to their past experiences and what we know from their past, we cannot be too sure, can we? Now, I wanted to specifically talk primarily about the new hero Luna. Particularly because I'm very excited to see how that's technically an Octavia of the First Descendant. If you don't know who Octavia is, that is a Warframe in, Warframe. Actually, in the gameplay that you're going to see, I had to change the controls to Warframe controls just because it was so different. Like, Q, C, V, and X for abilities is absolutely mind-boggling. I don't know why that was. I don't know whose idea that was. Just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Just copy it. Just copy-paste it. All right, it's all right. You've already done a lot to taking a lot. You've already taken a lot from Warframe. You might as well just take the controls and the keybinds. That way, it helps me out, because that was stressful. I was just trying to record a quick gameplay footage, and I almost had a heart attack, because it was painful. Now, with the new hero Luna, like I mentioned before, we have Ultimate Valby. None of Luna's abilities have been exposed. Let me pull up the necessarily. They haven't, not that they haven't been exposed, but I don't think they've really been talked about. Besides two, we have Nimble Footsteps, which enhances Luna's mobility and amplifies the effect range of her performance, allowing for more effective ally support, which makes me believe that she is going to be a support character. I almost said creature. She's going to be a support character, which kind of brings a little bit of I feel like some questions on my mind. I don't know if the First Descendant really is a game where I feel like it needs, and this isn't even a hot take, I'm just gonna say it. I don't think the First Descendant really needs like roles like that. There already is such a huge power fantasy in the game that there isn't really like, why would I use this character versus this character? Like, 9 times out of 10 it's night or day whether you should use one character or the other character. Most people are probably just running Bunny. I mean, or Ultimate Glaive from what I've heard and seen through the community on Twitter and X, which I did want to also mention that I think the way that the First Descendant is handling their Twitter and alerts, both channels, both pages, I suppose, the First Descendant and the First Descendant alerts, they're doing a really good job. They are creating the leaks for the game. Like, they're giving drop rates, drop chances, where to farm for this, for endgame content grinders, just everything really. And so I really think that's something every game company should strive to do. And I also think that the First Descendant is doing exactly what they should be doing, and they're doing it right. They released the game, and they've been doing updates, patchworks, and they're staying active on all accounts. That is how you keep a game alive. A lot of people don't like the First Descendant for reasons that are beyond me and reasons that are beyond everyone else. Personally, I know why I don't like the First Descendant, but a lot of people are just upset with the lack of that. I think, in my opinion, I think the First Descendant is not good in regards to comparison of Destiny or Warframe, right? And I mentioned this before in a previous video talking about Warframe, or the First Descendant, and comparing him to Warframe and Destiny. However, what I wanted to talk about specifically is I think that the First Descendant just needs more content. The biggest issue with First Descendant, besides the lack of commas, is the not being too sure how much content there is. Like, why would I get invested in the first Descendant when Warframe has literally, like, years worth of content? Like, at least a year of non-stop grinding, doing something different, just to catch up to the end game. That's what, like, the first Descendant is competing with. You know what I'm saying? So what sense does it make for me to drop playing Warframe and then go play first Descendant when it's not... It's just something new. It's kind of like, I don't know, a sports car. No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't know a comparison. I'm not good with analogies. I'm not going to use an analogy. Point is, why would I play first Descendant when there's lackluster content compared to Warframe and Destiny? You give it time. That's the answer to that. There's no other answer for me personally. You give it time. Once whenever it gets like a few hours, few months, few weeks, you know, whatever, until there's just a shit ton of content out there, you just got to give it some time. But once whenever it gets some time, if they keep this up for, I would say, my bet is going to be in a year, this game is going to explode. Warframe started off pretty rough. I'm going to try to find footage and try to play it in the back. Hey guys, editing John here. I just want to apologize. I was going to try to get some Warframe gameplay in there. I found a video, but for some odd reason it's not registering, and like when I'm trying to export it, it won't. It's being very weird. So I apologize, there's no gameplay, but I will still link Bunny Santa's video in the bottom, the link in the description below, so you guys can see the start of Warframe. Anyway, background at some point, but Warframe when it started off was pretty rough too. So everyone needs to get off their high horses and give it some time. Alright, that's it. I think that and the lack of every character just being badass and strong in the beginning is not a good look. I don't think so. I think that there needs to be a level of balance between them. Like, you can't just throw us into a game and be like, this game is a power fantasy. All of these characters can do strong shit. Well, then there's no good or bad one. Which, to some people, and to some extent, I kind of enjoy, but at the same time, like, I don't know, just throw an OP character in there somewhere, which is Bunny, I suppose. So I guess they already do what I'm talking about. I'm just yapping for no reason. But with the, I've been kind of yapping a lot about power fantasy because this is a comment, I did get a comment on my video that talked about it. And if I understand the concept of a power fantasy right, which let me... Am I saying it wrong? I'm gonna stop saying power fantasy because I don't know if it's right. Everything I just pulled up was Disney related, so that was terrifying. Essentially, my biggest fear, my biggest problem with the game is all the characters are really strong. Yeah. That's not my biggest problem. I'm not gonna talk about my biggest problem with the game because no one cares. No one really cares about my personal opinion on the game. Besides the updates of Ultimate, Valby, and Luna, which both are... it's interesting to see what they're gonna do with Luna. I didn't think... Did I even mention her other ability? Noise Surge. Transforms Luna from a supporter to a combat dealer. Dashes towards enemies in rhythm, dealing damage to nearby enemies. When the inspiration gauge is full, summon a stage to recover your mental strength and shields. Provide enemies with a terrifying musical experience with Noise Surge. So that's her other ability. So I guess she is kind of like a combo who's DPS and support, but I don't think that any game like this should have like DPS or support. Like, I mean, Warframe has that, but I don't know. I don't see looter shooters really needing roles like that. I feel like I kind of like the Destiny thing, where like everyone, like all of the roles basically are doing the same thing. I mean, yeah, you have Radiance, Well of Light, Well of Life or whatever, and then you have Titan Bubbles, and you have Tether. Like, all of them are unique, but there's not really a support class. It's just kind of like, hey, fend for yourself. I prefer it whenever my build matters more than the character I play. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know. But with all of that, Luna is coming out, and Ultimate Valby is too, and she's been getting some, I wouldn't say reworks, but she's definitely getting some buffs to make her abilities easier to use. We're jumping up from the, right here, the module storage is going from 1,000 to 1,500. The update necessarily isn't really anything huge, and I am a little late to the party on it, and I apologize, but I think this one's more of me just yapping. I think it's very important that I make it clear that I just like talking. But I like talking about fun things, like pixels on a screen, or actors and actresses on their films, or animes that are ridiculous. I like talking about fun things. I'm not trying to get no gobbledygook. So, there's that. a couple, and then I also remember I mentioned Volgus Strategic Outpost is another one that that's getting a bit of an update because apparently there's been problems with it. I don't know. That's pretty wild. Anyway, I hope this video found you guys fantastically well. I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/John the Yapper. Come check me out. I don't traditionally play the first Descendant. I'm big into Warframe right now. That might change depending on what new games we get, which let me know if there's any other game news or media news you guys like me to talk about. I don't know necessarily news per se, but just anything that you would like to hear me yap about in the comments below. And don't forget to join that Discord. Have a blessed rest of your night, y'all. Peace out.